Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream,
Yeah, they
so
are.
you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for. So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
He's not gonna be the last. I'm gonna make a druid. Are you gonna make a druid? He's naked! I did not watch the spoiler, so this is fresh for me. Somebody said he was naked.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You
naked.
lost, fella.
Imagine if I get banned.
We're talking to you.
I asked
It's
you
got
a
close now.
question.
Don't make him angry. Oh shit.
What's wrong with him?
He's lost his bloody mind.
Oh shit. That's a little sensitive. I want wolf summons. That's all I care about. Wolf pouches, please. Oh, that is sick. I should have got a wolf suit, not a bear suit. Totems! Spell totems! Huh? That was fucking sick! Dragon Druid. The Wyvern. I lost. I'm soaked. I'm soaked.
I will find you.
Is that a hint at a bird
Evil.
summon?
Now, as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he
Oh, no.
wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity.
Yay!
The Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the Druid typically uses magical staves
sick.
to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world.
Keep and filth.
One of the first skills you will learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth.
Eh?
This skill spits out balls of magma at your enemies, and will continue to do so for some time. While the volcano is active, turn
that's
into an
so
animal
cool.
and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out.
Ah?
But how do you turn into an animal, you may ask?
Yes.
Well, the answer is a new weapon type that Druids use, animal talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent.
How do you get
Depending on what you choose,
Wyvern.
you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip. For a bear, that's Maul. To turn into a bear, simply use the skill. Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack.
Okay.
If you want to change back to a human, just cast a spell. You will instantly swap back and cast it.
Very smooth
We wanted to make
transition.
sure that swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle. In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way. The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam,
That does
making
look
it
so
perfect
sick.
for use with your
I
bear
love what
form's
it does to the
furious
ground.
slam. While in bear form, many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with
That looks
Maul.
so nice. You're breaking the car.
Once you see the runes on your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your furious slam.
Okay. Not a big fan of the charge
Your bear
generation.
form
I
can
still don't
also
like
go on a
charges in
rampage,
melee.
stomping the ground as you demolish your foes. The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts, and doing it over a volcano makes it even better.
I hope it's faster than what we see though. If not, it's gonna be a Deadeye patch.
As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar. Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket any Warcry gem from another class into it, giving you the ability to use these skills as a bear.
Ah.
Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
Cool.
Or use Seismic Cry to stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do.
That could be pretty fast. I could see that being really
You
fast.
can even use it with Ancestral
bears.
Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Cow. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear?
No, I could see
Well,
that
wait
being
no
fast.
longer. Finally, build up enough rage and you can use one of the bear's ultimate abilities, Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm back
Now, the
in.
bear is known for
I'm
being a
back
slower
in.
and more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams.
I'm back in.
But
I'm
what if you
Team
want to turn into
Bear.
something a little more nimble? Well, let's check out the second animal form for the Druid, Wolf form.
Were you ever out? No.
For the wolf form, we wanted to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes. After attacking, the wolf stands up on two legs, but after running for a short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing to move more quickly between packs of enemies. The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon, and the first of these is Lunar Assault. It's great for freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards of ice off
Is
your
that
enemies,
hitting though?
which land on the ground
It looks
nearby
like it's like
and
hitting
explode.
everything else.
If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your Pounce attack. This skill leaps at a target and applies a mark to them.
The thing is, they always show
Killing the
off the
marked
game
enemy
for
will summon a
normies. They don't
wolfman
show
into your
off the game
side,
for us.
allowing them to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves
God,
you
I
have.
hope wolves
So
are
make sure
good
you
as a
keep your
summon.
pack
I really want
strong.
to go wolf summoner.
Now, one problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing
No,
it.
I have to summon wolves like that.
Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before?
Oh, I was hoping to have like a
Cross Slash
perma
will propel
summoner.
any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then follow up with Cross Slash
Okay,
to
the
generate a
wolves do
field of
sound
icy
kinda
explosions
L.
to obliterate your enemies. If they're still alive after that, your pack of wolves can finish
I'm
them.
more excited about Bear now after seeing Bear. I was hoping
Just
I
like
could
with
do
the
like a
bear's
full
raw skill
summoner.
earlier that allows you to use skills from other
you see
classes,
the Wyvern.
Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce. After pouncing at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time. The Wolf has many other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your
Where
pack
is
of
the
wolves as
extra
well.
damage? I was thinking
You can
that.
also use
I
it
do
to
hate
freeze
how
enemies that
little
are close
damage
to
they
being
show
frozen,
off.
making it much faster to use your other combos.
Like they do show off like
Finally,
a
the
20/20
wolf also has the
PoE.
ability to call down the power of the moon to
that is
transform into an
sick.
Arctic werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form, so you could try a hybrid bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect. Alright, let's talk about the third form available to the Druid,
Yes,
and I
that's-
think it's a cool one. The Wyvern.
I think it's a cool one.
The Wyvern has a number of long-range breath abilities, but that doesn't mean you can't get into melee range when you want to. The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your
I
lethal
love
talons.
Dragonheart.
If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage. After the battle though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, and this is when the Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this do a bunch of damage, but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack.
I really hate charges in PoE2.
Once your wings are charged, your
one of
Wind
my
Blast will
least
also do
favorite
lightning
things.
explosions for even more damage. If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier
That
after
is
all.
sick.
Alright, so those are some melee options.
That art
But
looks
how
so
about
cool.
range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all. Rolling
Please don't make
Magma
me
is the
need
first of the
charges.
Wyvern's breath attacks. Spit
Whoa.
balls of fire that bounce along the ground. These balls will trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a good idea to cast one as a human right before you start spitting. But that's not all you can spit. You have something a little nastier in that gullet of yours. Spitting a barrage of oil at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite. If you have power charges though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning-infused projectiles. The more power charges you have, the longer you can do this for. But make sure you keep your foes at range. You're vulnerable to melee attacks while channeling this skill. In order to help with that,
Vulnerable
let's take a
how?
quick diversion back to some of your human abilities. As a Druid of Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature to create entangling vines to slow down your enemies. Another of nature's punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet. Why is that useful? Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning damage from your Wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making
Okay.
things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well. And you know what else likes water? Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities. Use Lightning Storm with Entangle to make them last longer, and attach more vines to each enemy, slowing them further. Summon Thrashing Vines to slam at your enemies for a time. Any that are created in water will be
The
larger
moist
and deal more
maker.
damage. Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage. Now, this last Wyvern ability is just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
Okay. I hope that's so good. Deep breath.
Now there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell Totems. Spell Totems are meta gems that let you create a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the
I
game
might
for a
just go
time.
totem.
In order to create one, you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning.
Oh, what
Really,
a
the options are kind of
nutshell! Are
endless.
you kidding
Your
me?
bear form can
Come
easily generate endurance
on!
charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses. So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed.
Is
But they're
it?
also available from quite a few other places as well.
You know, I'm just gonna
I'm
go
sure we'll
in
be
and
seeing a
hope
lot of
for the
different
best.
spellcaster classes thinking about how
I hate
best to take
charges so
advantage of
much.
these. Now, of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game, but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here.
They have me in the first half.
Fan
yeah.
the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them.
Okay.
It's great for the Wyvern's Wing Blast. We can also use it on many other classes with wind skills,
I hope
like
it
the
works
Twisters
better
on the
than the
Huntress, or the Monk's
I hope it just
Staggering
works like
Palm
PoE
Projectile.
One Ignite.
Accelerated growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain.
They discharge the totem I pass.
And
Yeah.
Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield. It's great for watering plants en masse, or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along. And the Sorceress might like to use it with Firestorm as well. Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the Druid's animal form Warcries, or on the Warrior for a nice power boost. Grounding
there'll be a lot of
shocks
fun
causes
stuff this
monsters you
season anyway.
shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear. There's a whole pile more, but we'll
Obviously.
leave those for you to discover. Now with a new class comes new ascendancy classes. The Druid will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later. The first class is the Shaman.
Okay.
The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies. By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage the angrier you are.
I hope it has
And with
some tank
Furious
stuff.
Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells. With the knowledge of the Asmerian Magi, the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman. These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build. You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster.
Okay.
After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury. There are other abilities for the Shaman, but I'll just show a few from each class for now. The other Druid ascendancy is the Oracle. The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage. When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage.
What?
And with Converging Paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can
Yeah,
use
Simon
Moment
says.
of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future, and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
That's
And one of
cool.
my favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the
heart!
tree. By allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you.
That's cool.
For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing the spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death. Both the Druid ascendancies offer interesting and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get, so we're expecting a huge variety of build possibilities from these. Now there are unique talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon, converting most of your damage to fire. As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you. This unique also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily. Now, of course, the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show.
That was cool.
With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new Pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the fate of the Vaal.
All right.
The palace
Give
of
us
Queen
titties!
Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines still churn. The temple has many functions,
Is that a Rimba?
and with it,
Oh my god, it actually
a
is
chance to
Incursion.
save the Vaal. A gateway through time. Travel into the past, again and again. Alter the temple,
Synthesis?
uncover its secrets.
It does look a bit like Synthesis. It's like Synthesis and Incursion had a baby.
For your sacrifice. And somewhere in the
Is that
deepest
hardcore
chamber,
Bible?
my queen awaits.
I beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do. It
Oh shit.
fears me.
Oh damn.
Come now, give unto me your desire, At last, fulfill my soul.
I like those tentacles.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director
Hi,
on
Mark.
Path of Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast. They seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power, but not enough to fully activate it. It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and sometimes even stronger
I think you're
foes.
gonna one-shot me in there.
On fully activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's personal chambers are on the far side, but how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense.
Yeah, editing Incursion
And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice,
4!
and this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the dungeon, and place rooms beside them full of precious loot. After you are happy with your choices, open the temple, and discover the results of your efforts.
It's a 6 dungeon.
Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards.
4.
On entering a room,
Movies.
the doors will slam shut behind you, and you will need to face the
Does
encounter
that
within.
mean she wanted more statues after
But
she had
choose
4 kids?
wisely. It's important where you place
She
the
was like,
rooms
these aren't
to
accurate
get
anymore,
maximum
make new
returns.
ones.
For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command. With better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding. Different rooms have different requirements for leveling up. For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an adjacent golem works, and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous.
That's a risky
You don't
league
need to
mechanic.
memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on the temple.
Okay.
After running the temple, a few of the rooms will destabilize and be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back,
Okay.
making the temple larger and larger and larger. So, that's the basic functionality of the temple, but there is a lot more. Once Doriani finds out about your travels to Lera Vaal, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new mission. The temple entrance contains a prototype of the time portal device. It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point, right before Atziri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Vaal. He requests that you go back and attempt to stop Atziri to prevent the Vaal from ever being destroyed. Atziri is on the far side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms, but while doing so, you will probably want to exploit some of the Vaal technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the Corruption Chamber can be used to corrupt a single item. But placing it next to a Thaumaturge to run the place, and a Sacrificial Chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up.
Locust.
And it's worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had. In a level 3 Corruption Chamber, you will find this mysterious device. It has a slot to place an item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted.
Oh.
What will happen to them? Well, normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the capability to craft some very powerful items indeed. But be warned, the Vaal are all about taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
Is that triple corruption?
Each room has its own interesting mechanics and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops,
50% in PoE 1.
and in many cases, new crafting opportunities.
Damn corruptor.
For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Vaal construct to fight, but if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores.
Oh, that's cool.
Like
that it was from that.
Guatalixi's Thesis, which on boots allows you to sacrifice your life to run faster. Or Quetzalcoatl's Thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires.
Huh.
Get a Sacrificial Chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a Highborn Priest of Sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Vaal unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways.
Okay.
One of the mods of this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod.
That's a cool animation. Wow.
For example, this Soul Mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and
Yeah, this is
curses you when they
Valborn.
die. By using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside.
Wow.
Now, one extra thing to mention about these Vaal crafting machines. You don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple. If
I'm
you don't
happy
have
we're getting
the item you
Valborn.
want to craft with you at the time,
Are you happy,
then
Tat?
clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade it if you want. Now, there are all sorts of interesting rooms you can find in the temple, but the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Vaal Flesh Surgeon can be leveled up by placing him next to a high-level synth flesh lab.
Okay.
But be careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal lab. Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself? After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right
My
leg.
character!
Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform
That's
better than your
cool.
normal one. Now, there is just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state. You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next time.
As soon
Some
as you
rooms,
started
like the
talking, I knew
Commander,
that was
can
gonna
give
be
you a
it.
new type of reward.
Never mind, I'm still playing
Medallions
hardcore.
that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways. Using a Quetzalcoatl's medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements
That's so
to level
funny.
up.
That's
And a
awesome.
Huatulotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple, allowing you to
are gonna
guarantee
be
getting
so
a
upset
reward
over that.
a second time. Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts. Now, with all that aside, time to face the Architect, and you will be in for a fight. Once defeated, you will find another console that can be used to
Yeah, I think
modify
I'm
the
going
temple.
hardcore.
But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards.
Okay.
There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and
Like
currency.
ultimatum.
But also a few other, more niche crafting experiments. Like this one, that can
Oh.
extract the socket balls back out of an item, at the cost
Okay.
of destroying it. Now, something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the endgame. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Vaal works well for late game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match. Getting some rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in Endgame, when you can get some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters. We also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often. Now in each league, it's important that we have a new Pinnacle boss to test your character's might. In the Fate of the Vaal, you will get to face Adzeri while she was at the peak of her power.
Oh shit.
One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Vaal herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Adzeri communes with the beast's power and takes her true corrupted form. Now, we are not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards. This is Adzeri's rule. This staff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted gems and lets you trade life for extra damage. But in
Mirror
addition to
of
that, while
Refraction.
using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other. So, that's the Fate of the Vaal League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes. Now, for those of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the league mechanics that can show up randomly in Endgame. If you want to specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run.
Gonna be a very popular tablet.
You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to enhance how they function. Now that Abyss is core, it also needs its own Atlas tree. You can gain your first points by completing an Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options. You might
wonder how
just
big a
want
boss
more
Adzeri's
monsters
gonna
and
be.
bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal. Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying.
I thought that was not where
So,
we were going with that.
we have removed that. In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well.
Okay.
This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content.
Yeah.
But it was both annoying to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter. Instead, we are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often,
it
since
nice
they
that you're
last
gonna
for
have no
10
fog?
maps each. Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using
shit.
regular currency.
Cool.
Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from instilling, so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give.
Okay.
Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to waystones outside of the basic currency, because it adds too much micromanagement.
Nice.
But on that note, Fate of the Vaal does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes.
Huh.
Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly, so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey. Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters. In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after letting this simmer for a while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life, in addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level. This only applies to regular monsters, not bosses. We have also reduced the speed modifiers that monsters can get sometimes,
I like density,
which also helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The scope was a bit too large, and so we would need to wait until 050 for that. But
Panic!
rest assured, there will be a ton of upgrades for the existing leagues, as well as new Pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon. Now, another problem that becomes a much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance, and we have done a lot of work here.
Right,
The
I like
primary
the AoE
issue
difference.
is CPU load, and to address that, a lot of things have been optimized,
Like the
and we have
AoE.
done a lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores. You should see frame rates of at least 25% higher,
Wow.
and a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay.
And a lot more AoE.
It does make quite a big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing, and you will continue to see performance improvements over the next few months. Of course, another important area is game balance, and we have made a lot of changes. Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes, but I'll do a quick summary of some of the numbers. As well as adding
Reworked
11 new unique items,
Oh.
we have rebalanced
Well, nice.
dozens of others that are not
Yay.
currently used very often.
Good.
We've also done a
Bingo.
pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more.
Wow.
Alongside the 2
Oh,
new
please.
Druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava. Alongside the
man.
20 plus new Druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off, there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive
Are
tree.
some of them life nodes?
These changes should go a long way to increase the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today,
I'll buy
we're
a
launching
supporter pack
2
if
new
there's
series of
life nodes.
supporter packs, the Precursor and Kalgurin packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Precursor series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. First up, the Marble Statue Character Effect. Once you finally stay still for a moment, a podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you next move, the stone
Oh.
crumbles around you. The Precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the Gravity Well portal.
Oh.
Witness the power of its pull as you approach it. Draw in enemies with your own gravitational pull with the Awakened Precursor armor set. The Precursors designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one used to serve as a scout that would patrol and tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the Master of the Forge can do it for you?
That's so cool.
Molten gold spills out as the Forge Master breaks down your items.
That does look very cool.
The Relic of the Precursor's map device is a
That
mysterious
fucker
machine
killed
that
me?
sits
That's
atop
funny.
ancient colossal statues.
That portal looks sick.
It keeps track of the number of charges consumed on your Precursor tablets used in the device.
I think that might be my first
The
favorite
Kalguran
map
Pack series
pedestal.
also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Kalgurans had astounding skill in astronomy, being able to track cosmic events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the Astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat.
Ah, that's
The
cool.
time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item,
That's
so you
cool.
can link it when you have a time you're proud of.
That's
Crush
neat.
unique enemies by unleashing the wrath of the lost Kalguran fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself.
I hate finisher effects.
A Kalguran seafarer needs armor fit for the treacherous seas of Rayclast. This set has you covered with the classic tricorn and, of course, a peg leg. The Lost Treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true raider of the seas. These gilded weapons can be applied to wands, two-hand maces, and shields.
Shield looks sick. That's like
After
the
a
best
long
looking
day of
shield I've ever
plundering
seen.
loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout. A home of some of the most deadly, ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a Kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant Kraken, waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
What?
Thank you very much for all your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, at 11 AM
Isn't
NZ
that
time,
annoying?
we'll post the patch notes. With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you'll need for the release. Keep an eye on the news.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to playing alongside our fellow shapeshifting exiles.
Me too.
All while uncovering lost Vaal secrets by doing some dungeon crafting. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.
Okay. I mean, my TLDR, I don't think that they do necessarily a good job in their trailers of making it exciting for like players like me. I know I had fun last season. I'm hopefully gonna have fun this season. That's my outlook on it. I don't know. I'm pretty excited for a lot of the stuff. I'm so anti-excited for the power charges though. I hate the power charge type stuff. But I'm excited to play. I had so much fun in Abyss.
And other game